All right, race fans, it is time for the super late models here. Night number 1 of the Budweiser Nationals. 40 laps of late model action scheduled to roll off here in just a few minutes.
The Thunder's about ready to roll, ladies and gentlemen. Garden Brooks is in the house.
We will take you through the lineup because what we have on the computer screen is not the way these guys are going to line up in the feature.
All right, right now, scheduled to appear. Got it, row number 1 from Torrance, California. That is Cody Laney in the 5L. On the outside from Salinas, California, the number 2, Bobby Hogue. Inside row number 2, the 28.
No, it's not.
But
Look
it's
at the
not.
track.
It's supposed to be the 91 of Tony Toast, and on the outside, the 27, Nick Bartels.
On the inside of row number 3, driving the 91P, sponsored by Papich Construction, that is Jason Papich, a former winner here at the Budweiser Nationals. Outside of him from Portland, Oregon, in the X-Factor VS1 chassis, sponsored by Eastside Paving, that is Joey Tanner. On the inside of row number 5, driving the number 10 in, sponsored by West Coast Boring, that is the Sandman, Rob Sanders. Outside of him in the number 28, all the way from the Oregon coast, that is Jimmy Whistler.
Row number, next car up we've got is the 78S. That is Steve Stoltz. And on his outside, the number 29, Andy Orbitello. Then we've got the number 18 of Devin Brown. The 23J of Tyler Lightfoot. The 9 XXX of Chet Reeves. The 28G of Clark Guglielmoni. The 23 of Mike Lightfoot. The 75 of Rick Coffey. Then you've got the 22G of Paul Guglielmoni, and rounding out the field, the 42 of Paul Colt. That is your running order. So Bakersfield Speedway, are you ready for super late model night number 1 action?
Cody Laney and Bobby Hogue on the front row. Are you kidding me?
Then you got Tony Toast, Nick Bartels, Jason Papich, and Tanner.
5 of the top 6 cars are all former champions of this race here at Bakersfield Speedway.
And the sad part is the one who's not is Joey Tanner.
Who could have been the champion last year.
Right.
With the deal that went down in turn 1 with himself and Clay Daly. It was an action-packed night. Things didn't work out. Look at the back of the pack. There he is, the 84. That is Ethan Dotson, who put on one heck of a performance in his heat race. He has got his work cut out starting at the back of the pack in this one tonight.
Yeah, but if we know Ethan like we know Ethan, he's not going to be in the back much longer. He's going to try to drive up through as quick as possible. But when you give this much of a head start to everybody else, it's going to be tough to go.
There's Doug Ryan with the 1 to go. We're going to go green next time around out of turn number 4. Race fans, get on your feet, wave your hats for these super late model drivers. Let them know you appreciate what they do. It is time for tonight's feature at the Budweiser Nationals. Cody Laney, Bobby Hogue, your front row will set the pace at a turn 4. Coming to the green flag, it's Bobby Hogue first on the throttle. He'll lead the field down the front straightaway.
It is the 5L, Cody Laney. Here comes the 91 of Tony Tost and the 27 of Kid Harley of Nick Bartels.
Joey Tanner battling side by side with the 91P of Jason Papich. That's the battle for the number 5 spot out of turn 4. They're going door to door down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Up front it is Bobby Hogue in the 2H. Looking very good is now Tony Tost going to fade back to the number 4 spot. Laney and the 27 of Nick Bartels get by him. Cody Laney jumps the cushion. Bartels drives right up and puts a bumper on the backside.
Oh, yeah, he's keeping the heat right there. But look, here comes the 91 of Tost. Toast on the bottom, but look who comes right back, the 5L of Cody Laney and Nick Bartels right in tow.
All this is happening up front, and I'm watching Ethan Dotson in the back. He's up 4 spots already, working on a handful more coming out of turn 4.
Mike, you were doing exactly what I did in the sport mod race. I was watching the race in the back, not paying attention to what was going up front, because look at the race in the back.
Yeah, it's getting crazy back there.
We are 4 laps in, and Bobby Hogue is already on the same straightaway as the back markers. The 23 of Lightfoot. Hogue reeling him in very quick here into turn 3, working the high side out of turn 4. Right rear tire up in that big nasty cushion. Cody Laney running second. Bartels and Toast side by side. Then it's Tanner and Papich, Sanders, Whistler, Obertello, Stoles.
Bobby Hogue comes through the front stretch, and Lightfoot jumps from the bottom to the high side in front of him. He has to check up and lose momentum to drop to the bottom. Allows everybody else to come up right behind him once again. Right now you got the 42 car getting all sorts of loose right in front of Bobby Hogue.
Bobby Hogue
putting
a lap on the 42 of Paul Kolb. He's got Cody Laney right there all over his backside. Laney dives to the middle groove at turns 1 and 2. It is Bobby Hogue up on the top of the car, bouncing all over the place. He's on the throttle, drives away from Laney. They are in heavy lap traffic. Unbelievable what we're seeing here. We're only 7 laps in.
Wow, Laney right there. Boy, I tell you, he's not giving an inch. Now look who's joining. It's Papich. Or I'm sorry, it's Toast. Toast right there on the backside of the 5L, Cody Laney. And now the 27 of Nick Bartels. Here he comes now. The 91 of Jason Papich on the backside of the 27 of Nick Bartels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your top 5 cars. Now Tanner joining it, making it number 6.
All this battling going on up front. They're coming up on lap traffic now. Bobby Hogue
contact
crossing under him twice to try to make him get out of the way and said, hey man, I got big cars coming behind me.
A little bit of contact down the front straightaway, Mike. You see that?
Absolutely. Andy Obertello sliding up in front of him once
again. Here we go. Contact between Tosin, or between Hogue and Laney. Laney went airborne. Hogue, both cars are off the pace. Bobby Hogue comes to a rest on the apron in turn 1.
That's going to put Toast now in the lead.
Laney he's still able to continue. That's going to put him in the middle of the pack. Now your leader will be the 91 of Tony Toast. Wow.
Cody Laney coming up to the front trying to say, hey, I want my spot back because that's not my fault.
I don't think that's going to happen. They were just racing for position.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, it'll move him back to about 5th right behind Tanner.
Was it because of that 28 car again? Is that
they had a lap car ahead of him. Both drivers out of turn 4 dove to the bottom. Laney made a move on the inside. They got together with the 2H of Hogue.
Something broke on Hogue because they're looking under his car.
And that was one of the team cars to Hogue.
The left rear.
Clark Guglielmone.
Unfortunate for Bobby Hogue, who has won this race more than any other driver, finds himself. He's got the car back under his own power. We're 11 laps in. We'll see how this plays out. It looks like he's staying on the infield, turning the car around to make his way back to the pit area.
Yeah, you know, these cars on exit with so much horsepower bouncing into these turns trying to get it to drive off. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the shocks let go.
What I'm surprised is that the 5L getting his spot back up front when 2 cars are just racing for position. It wasn't like it was anybody's fault or it was done with intent. I am very surprised at that decision.
The decision's made. We live with it. Time to move on and get going.
Yeah, Hogue's going to the pits. He's got his helmet off.
So Cody Laney will be your leader. Tony Tost, Nick Bartels, Jason Papich, Joey Tanner, your top 5. Then it's the 10N of Rob Sanders, the Sandman, Guglielmone, Then I think it's the 28 of Whistler, the 29 of Obertello, because I do believe that the 23 of Lightfoot is a lap down. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so. Yeah, what we've got right now on the books is Cody Laney, Tony Tost, Nick Bartels, Jason Papich, Joey Tanner, Rob Sanders, Whistler, Obertello, Stoltz, Dotson, Brown. Dotson in the top 10 now.
You know, last year at this race, it was Cody Laney leading the field when he got together, and steering rack broke a little bit of incidental contact. It cost him a win here at the Bud Nationals. Tonight, we almost saw something similar. And he has had a wicked fast car here the last couple of years. He's the man on the point, leading the show, and he's got Tony Tost right behind him. The defending champion sits third. Nick Bartels, the winner of this race last year.
Yeah, Ken Harley.
They're getting everybody lined up. Once again, it's almost time to go super late model main event racing. 11 laps in the books. Cody Laney, Tony Tost, Nick Bartels, Jason Papich, and Joey Tanner, your top 5.
One car in the top 5 with a crate motor.
That's cool, though. I respect that because I helped the driver that did that, and a lot of people said that it wasn't possible, but yet it depends on the track.
A lot of people said it wasn't possible when he first started running that CT 525.
Yeah, they are
13 wins this season.
Very competitive, I tell you, and well worthy of buying one.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. That's the thing with the CT 525. You look at what that thing is. You look at the horsepower it makes and the money involved. That is the best value in all of motorsports right now. And it's hard to argue with that crate engine.
Well, we've had multiple talks on West Coast Wide Open about that, and multiple people have said if I was going to get into a late model, the first thing I would do is get that crate motor.
Well, and you get on a slick track. And this track is slicking off. Now, tonight might not be the ideal circumstance for a 525. Okay, tomorrow when we see the slick surface top to bottom and things aren't what they what guys want or what you call ideal for an open motor, will benefit that smaller horsepower. That thing still makes 530 horse.
Right.
And it's not like it's a baby motor. It's got plenty of horsepower. And on a dry, slick surface, the more power you're able to use, the better you're going to run. We'll see what Joey Tanner can do here on night 1 and see what he does tomorrow night.
Yeah, he knew night number 1 he was going to be underpowered on this track compared to everybody else. Now, night number 2, he's going to be underpowered, but the power-to-weight ratio is going to help that car out a whole lot more on a dry, slick track.
Be interesting to see what happens here in this second half. Or 11 laps in, 29 to go.
Texas restart for the super late models.
See, it's a Texas restart in California. You go to Oregon, and it's a California restart.
You go to Texas, it's a Delaware restart.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody wants to claim this restart. Green flag in the air. Cody Laney on the high side with Tony Tost. Bartels slides up there, but Tony Tost dives in, gets a run. Him and Jason Papich, teammates.
Papich is coming as he gets by Bartels for that number 3 spot. Oh, my. He just slid up and took that spot away. Now Joey Tanner trying to do the same thing. Papich up against the turn 2 wall as he loses 2 spots down there in turn 2. Joey Tanner now sits third as he got by the 91 of Papich, and the 27 of Bartels sets his sights up on the number 91 T of Tony Tost. Joey Tanner working the bottom line. Everybody else using the top side through turns 1 and 2.
As they come out of 3 and 4, Cody Laney still up on the point. Tony Tost about 4 car lengths behind. Then you've got Tanner up to the 3rd spot. Problems with Sanders.
Sanders off the pace on the infield. Calling
Looks
tonight
like something
the number
broke
10
in the
end.
right rear.
Joey Tanner starts to hunt the racetrack using the bottom line through turns 3 and 4, the top side through turns 1 and 2. Now this time through turns 1 and 2, right back down to the gutter. Nick Bartels bouncing off the cushion, has a big run. Here comes the 91P of Patchett. That's the Papich takes the 4 spot away with a slide job through turns 3 and 4, and Bartels